Hey Wargamers, Games Workshop has given us a preview of what is coming up in the new Forge World supplement, specifically which units are included in that, and therefore, essentially, which units are now relegated to Legends. So we're going to pour one out for those poor souls that are no longer in the book. But if you're like me and have been holding on to this guy from the beginning of 8th edition, hoping for new rules, this is pretty exciting. So we're going to go through which units made it to 9th and which ones didn't. Before we do that, though, I want to say thank you for watching, and more importantly, if you are in the U.S., next week is Election Day. There is still plenty of time to vote absentee in person in many states, and if not, please vote in person. Anything that you need to know if you've never voted before is on the website vote.org. That will help you navigate the Election Day process. But either way, whether you're voting absentee ahead of time or in person, please vote. All right, so Games Workshop gave us a preview of the table of contents for this new Forge World book, and in that we have the list of all the units. Those units are basically the ones that they still make, and the ones that they don't make, surprisingly, not really, aren't on there. So, basically, if they make a model for it, it's still in here. If they discontinued making that model, they've left it behind. And that's, fairly typical, super commonplace for Games Workshop and for Forge World. So I'm not exactly surprised at the list that we see here. Now, what exactly is that? Well, it's Chasseur Relay, Hazard Suits, the Avarna, Tetras, Ivara, the Remora drones, the Barracuda, the Tiger Shark fighter bomber, the AX-10 Tiger Shark, the Manta, and the Taunar. Those are the only Forge World kits that are still in production. No Narlock, no Crisis Commanders, no technical drones, no Hammerhead variants. None of that is in this new book. So let's pour one out for. I don't remember if I said that already. We're gonna pour one out either way. So let's see here. Chasseur Ramir, not here. Right? His model was based on the old Crisis suit. And so it's not surprising that he's left behind because we have new Crisis suits now. In contrast, Chasseur Relay has a hazard-based suit. So they still make hazard suits. They still make Relay. So that makes sense. XV-81 Crisis Battlesuit, no. XV-4 Technical Drone, no. XV-84 Battlesuit, no. Hazard Support Team, yes. Ivara, yes. Avarna, yes. Taunar, yes. Tetra, yes. Piranha TX-42 Light Skimmer, no. I remember probably a couple months ago they had a last call for that. So again, not surprising that it's not making it to 9th edition. Heavy Gun Drone Squadron, those are gone now. Heavy Bombardment Hammerhead, Fire Support Hammerhead, both gone. Remoras are still here. Barracuda AX-52, yep. Tiger Shark Fighter Bomber, yes. Although notably they just call it Tiger Shark in the new book. So, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but it's interesting that they changed the name. Tiger Shark AX-10, they switched the name and the designation, which I think makes sense because, that is kind of weird, right? Like, why was the designation following the name, whereas when we look at, like, battlesuits, for example, or drones, or basically anything else, the designation precedes the name. So they brought that into alignment at least. Orcas. No Orcas. They haven't made that kit in a long time. You can find them on eBay. You can find, STLs to print your own Orca. But, at this point, it's always kind of been a collector's piece more than a utility. But now it's definitely just a collector's piece. The Manta. They, you still have rules for the Manta, because of course they're going to keep making the Manta, the biggest piece of resin that Forge World produces. They still have rules for that. And then the Remote Sensor Tower and the Drone Sentry Turret, both of those are extinct. So, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I think there's no love lost on those models. They were cool. They're nice scenery. But, whatever. So, now we have a much more condensed list. It's, really the things that were most useful. I think the biggest loss here really comes in the form of the The Hammerhead variants, again, they haven't made those turrets in a while, so not surprising, but they had a niche, right? They had a particular ability that could be useful if you want to bring just a bunch of hammerheads. They allowed you to circumvent the rule of 3, for example, and they just offered a lot more shots and diversity in your tanks, right? Right now, we just have the hammerhead, we have piranhas, we have our flyers, but in terms of tanks, we just have a hammerhead with either ion cannon or a railgun. And so it was nice to have that diversity built in with the heavy bombardment and fire support hammerhead variants. So I'm sad to see them go. We still have Arvara, we still have Ivaras, and I think those are really the places that we're going to see utility. We still have hazard suits. I'd be really sad if they got rid of hazard suits, so I'm glad that all of that's still there. But that means that there's plenty of room for expansion in the Tau line too, right? Just like in life, when there's a mass extinction event, new diversity evolves to take its place over time. And so at this point, it's just a waiting game. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the newly extinct Tau units, or your praise for the ones that survived. Either way, put them in the comments below. And again, please vote. And as always, happy wargaming. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This channel is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining our community over there. Special thanks to Shifty, Robbie Goodwin, Michael Byrne, Jim Bob, Tao Oswell, Drew Pratley, Stephen Cowan, Jake Johnson, Richard B., Jose Gamez, Ruger, Jacob Harkrider, Mark Sherwing, Zealous Brimstone, Scott Heater, Jared Egler, and Chris Kessler.